Hello, welcome to Cooking Time. I'm David Martone, Executive Chef at Classic Thyme Cooking School. Today's show is all about edamame beans. We have wonderful edamame beans, shelled and unshelled. We're going to do 4 different dishes with edamame beans, and you're just going to love it. Edamame beans I usually see in a sushi-style restaurant, and they're simply poached with some salt. And you kind of peel them or suck them out of the shell. And to me, they're good, but I like them when they're spiced up. So I'm going to show you a couple of ways of doing some fabulous things with edamame beans. And they're just so healthy for you. What a fabulous source of protein. They're nothing more than soybeans, but they're a complete protein with all the essential amino acids. You get protein, you get fiber, just fabulous ingredient to use to the max. So we're going to get 2 dishes going right away that need to be cooked up. We're going to do a wonderful wild mushroom and edamame risotto. So I'll put my flame on, put a little bit of olive oil on this one. And we need to chop up some leeks. And I think we're going to chop up 1 shallot. You can use an onion. It could be white, yellow, or red. I'm electing to use a shallot today, mainly because I have a bunch of them. You need to use what you have. Shallots are like a mild onion. Just slicing across one way and then slicing across in another direction. Get all that into our pan for our wonderful risotto. Kick up the heat on that a little bit. And we'll get that sauteing nicely. Starting to sizzle already. Just balance my, actually I'll keep my spoon right off to the side. Now for the other one, it's a wonderful sauteed dish with the whole edamame beans. We're going to use the shelled edamame into the risotto, and the sauteed edamame are going to be the whole beans. So I've got a piece of ginger, and I just want to trim this up a bit and just peel that. Actually, I'm going to just slice down this way. You can peel ginger with the vegetable peeler, or do what I'm doing and just kind of attack it with a paring knife. We're going to slice up that ginger. And then I want to take those slices, stack them up a little bit, and I'm going to cut them into nice matchstick size. Going to be running back and forth to get our risotto going nicely. I think it's time to add our rice. Just looking around to make sure I didn't lose my white wine. Back to the ginger. I'm going to cut this into a nice little julienne, which is like matchstick size. Then just push all that together, pile it up nicely, and then we're just going to chop through that to make a tiny little dice. Just pile it all up and get through it all. Push it right off to the side and get our garlic. When we do garlic, we can flatten out the clove and then just chop through it. in a couple different directions. Push that off with our ginger. That's a big fat one that doesn't want to crush so easy. Just keep going back and forth, and it'll all chop up nicely. And we have one more ingredient that I want to chop right now, and that's our scallion. And we're just slicing through those little rounds of scallion, making tiny little ringlets. Okay, perfect. Rice is toasting up nicely. Going to add a bit of white wine to this. We made a risotto in another show. We've probably made risottos in several shows. They all pretty much start out the same. You start by sautéing some aromatics or some flavoring ingredients. In this case, we did some shallot and some leek, and then we're going to add some mushrooms. These are Italian porcini mushrooms that have been dried and reconstituted. So this is going to be all of our wonderful mushroom flavor. Simply reconstituted them in a little bit of water. We're going to let that water sit as it gets a little bit of sediment, so I want it to settle back down, and we'll add that later to infuse a little bit more mushroom flavor. Now I'm going to add our wonderful edamame beans. Boy, folks, I didn't even check to see what time we started this show, so you'll just give me a shout out when I'm getting to the halfway point, and this way I'll know to speed things up or to slow things down if I'm ahead. And then we're going to start to add some chicken stock, a little at a time. And then we'll keep coming back and adding more chicken stock. Get rid of our bowls. Now in our saute pan, add some olive oil. And we're going to add all this scallion, ginger, and garlic.